So maybe we could just start with you telling me a little bit about what brought you here today.
I'm just feeling stressed about work and trying to make enough money
Mm-hmm.
with the amount of time that I have and energy.
If you don't mind, I'm just going to take a few notes while you're talking.
Sure.
So you're feeling a bit stressed about money and some constraints around your resources like time and energy.
Yeah. It's pretty hard work, but it's kind of takes up the majority of the day, and there's not many other opportunities to make more money.
Mm-hmm.
The time and energy that's left over.
Mm-hmm.
Just feeling like there's nowhere else to go with that.
Okay. So you're feeling like you're at a bit of a dead end.
Yeah. I guess that's the way to put it.
Mm. How does it affect you, this feeling of stress in your day-to-day life? When do you feel it coming up?
Well, usually when all the money's all gone, or during said work, when I know that's going to eventuate anyway.
Mm.
And at the same time, there's generally not that much time to consider that.
Mm.
It's kind of all taken up.
So you work a lot.
Yeah.
And it's pretty exhausting work.
Yeah.
Mm. And you're still feeling like you're not really getting enough from it.
Yeah.
I think you're not seeing many other options.
Yeah. I suppose there's a lack of time to look for other opportunities as well.
Mm-hmm.
By taking that time, it'll be less money.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure how to take that next step or work out what to do with that.
Okay. So you're sort of in a space where you're considering what you might like to do next.
Or how to make it be enough.
Okay. Well, we can definitely talk about that, but I might ask first if you can tell me just a little bit more about how that feeling of stress is affecting you.
I think it feels pretty hopeless and starts to borderline depressing.
Mm.
And is I suppose to add to that, the fact that there's not enough money for everything and everyone is stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And depressing not being able to contribute more.
So you're using the word depressing, is that you find yourself in quite a low mood?
Yeah.
Okay. And how often are you feeling that way?
Often.
Mm-hmm. Like most days?
Most days.
Mm.
I suppose there's a lot of anxiety that goes along with it.
Mm-hmm.
Preempting the lack of funds and the being at work all the time at the same time.
Mm. So you find yourself with a bit of a low mood and some feelings of anxiety as well.
Yeah.
Mm. And that's also most days that you're feeling that way.
Yeah.
And how long has that been going on for you?
Quite a while, but I think it kind of grows weekly.
It's getting harder to manage.
Getting harder to have a positive mindset about what might be able to change or what other opportunities there might be to change that situation.
So for a while you've been feeling really stressed about not making enough money at work, and it's been leaving you with a low mood and a sense of anxiety, and it's becoming bigger, not smaller for you. And
Yeah.
you're finding it harder to have a positive mindset around maybe having some other options or there being a solution. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although sometimes in the midst of that, it's trying to envision a way to change things, to make more money out of the same thing, or to find other opportunities to do so, while also enjoying the work. The small amount of hopefulness comes, and then no ability to change things kind of makes it dive back out again.
So even though you are feeling that overwhelm and anxiety and those low moods, and have been for what it sounds like quite a while, you are still resourceful enough to be having those thoughts about what can I do differently, or how could I change this situation.
Yeah.
And so if you've been feeling this way for a while, I do wonder what, if anything, you found helpful, or what you might have done to cope with some of that anxiety that you're feeling.
I think most of the time isn't there to do much other than try to have a bit of tunnel vision and get through the day as they come. And
So you're focusing on your work and what you have to do.
sure. Yeah. It's a general lack of time for it altogether.
Sounds like you're feeling like you just really don't have the time that you need at the moment.
Yeah.
It's a big part of what's stressful.
Yeah.
So really you're feeling like your most important, or some of your most important resources, your time and your money, are running out. And you don't have as much of either as you need.
Yes.
That's a lot to be carrying. Do you find time to look after yourself or recover from the hard work? Do you have a little bit of time on your hands, or is it just all work, no play?
Work and sleep
Okay.
and eating.
Eating's good. And do you feel like you have support? Do you have much support?
Yes, but then everyone has their own things to do. That's the bigger picture, and it's kind of my thing to do to try to make enough money. So everyone else can do what they have to do. So I try not to put that stress on anybody else. I feel like it's my job to deal with somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And again, although I feel like that's possible, it's hard to find the time or the resources to change that.
Mm. So you've mentioned a few times that you want to change something or look at different options, and I just am curious about what that looks like for you. What sort of change you're thinking about?
I guess more time and more money.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
However
And does that
has to-
somehow have a shape? Is there more to that somehow, or is it a more open?
It's pretty open.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like it needs to be anything in particular. As long as the outcome is more time and more money, then
Mm-hmm.
that would be acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the obvious thing is that there needs to be either an abrupt step away from what I'm doing, which is kind of scary.
Okay.
I mean, no money at all for some time, which could mean that an opportunity just comes up and quickly while looking for it,
Mm-hmm.
or I have to try to find a way to make more time and energy whilst doing what I'm already doing to find that opportunity to move on to.
It's a tough position. So, from what you're telling me, at the moment, your job isn't leaving you with enough time or enough money, and you've been doing that for a while, and it's causing you anxiety and a feeling of depression, and that's led you to thinking about how you might go about changing things, but that's causing more anxiety because it would require moving away from something that, although maybe not enough, is quite stable and what you know, into an unknown territory.
Yes, well, I suppose that if I was to just leave that without having something already lined up, that could happen the next day that there's a job, or it could happen in a month's time, which wouldn't be okay.
Mm-hmm. And there's some really practical concerns around what that would mean for you.
But it's too much dependent on money to risk taking that step in the first place.
Mm-hmm. So in that sense, there's a lot that's depending on you, and you're not feeling like it's okay for you to depend on or get support from others. So that's a lot that you're carrying alone. Is that right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah.
I think, it's no wonder you're feeling a level of anxiety and those low moods. I think that's a lot of pressure, and that your resources are maybe not matching up to the demands on them, and that can leave you feeling like you don't have enough of these things that you need.
For sure.
We're getting close to the end of our session today. If you're comfortable, I'd really like to work with you on maybe some of the ways you can manage that feeling of stress and those low moods, as well as supporting you through what might be a process of change or might be a process of coming to distribute your resources differently in a way that works better for you, if you'd be open to that.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, we might leave it there for today.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.